Hello. Okay, I am going to do something here because I want to share. I'm going to share a screen with you guys. Will it let me? Will it let me? Will it let me? Hang on. I don't know if it's going to allow me to share or not.
How you doing?
There we go. There we go. Let's see. Did it stop on me? Damn. Okay, I just wanted to share with what was going on now
Oh, okay. This is
for you all. And I'm going to tie this in with, oh, I don't know what happened to him. As soon as I'm doing this.
I've been missing the shot the entire time. Tab out mush.
There we go. Okay. Trying to get this
Now I know what it feels like.
for you all. Hi, Lisa. So I'm going to tie this all in with
My goodness, it's beautiful.
the astrology just now, but it's not streaming the way I want it to stream. And that's probably because I'm trying to share it on here and he's doing a live stream at the same time. So let me just stop because it's annoying me. And it'll probably be annoying you because you're coming in to saying, what the hell is she doing? It was a live stream with, oh no. Okay, I'm just going to take it off. A live stream with Viva Fry. I don't know if you follow Viva Fry, but check him out on Rumble and check him out on YouTube. You know, he's doing a live stream right now. I like him because he is a litigated lawyer. He was a litigation lawyer and now he's a YouTuber, but he's quite in an understanding of the law and the rights. And he's been down as often as he can. He's from Montreal. He's funny. I like him. He's funny. He's got a good sense of humor. He shows his anger when he's doing things, but he knows how to speak. He's very politically correct in what he's and how he says things. So I really like that. Quite differently than sometimes with me. I'm not always politically correct in what I say and how I say it, but I wanted to touch in on what is going on with the collective consciousness and the energies that are on when we look into the astrology and just looking at the astrology itself. The sun is in Pisces and the sun is with Neptune and Jupiter. It hasn't been there since 1856 with the sun being, and that's even with the sun being there. So the sun is in Pisces every year, like it goes around once a year, but I'm saying the sun, Jupiter and Neptune together, they haven't been together since 1856. Why is this important? Is this an important factor? And I'm like, yeah, it is, because it's magical. It's about change. It's about the kind of magical change that you want to make in your life. And what is that magical change you want to make into your life? And how does that look? We also have where Mars, who is exalted in Capricorn, with Venus, and she'll be squaring off the moon tomorrow, and that the moon is in Libra, which is, looking at how are we balancing this all out? How is this feeling for you internally within your own life and within the collective and with what you are seeing around you? Now, not everybody wants to watch what's going on in Ottawa, nor some people don't really care. They just want to go on with their life. They don't want to pay any attention to it. But this is where the energies are coming in to awaken people, to get you all to start looking at what is happening, what is going on in the world around us. We do feel, in one of the cards that I pulled out today on, we do feel like the 9 of Wands. We do feel like, okay, we've been going through a battle, but this is the beginning of the battle. This is the beginning of what we are wanting to create. And when you are wanting to create something that is magical and you're feeling that passion, you're wanting that flow, We're in Pisces. And we also have to understand what was going on in 1856. If we want to go into the history, and that's one of the things with astrology that I really love. So what was happening, if I can spell, and my computer's been acting up lately again. What was happening in 1856 in the world? So, one, the Anglo-Persian War was going on. War is declared between Great Britain with the Persians, which was Germany, on November 4th in 1856. United States presidential election, Democratic James Buchanan defeats former President Millard Fillmore, representing a coalition of now nothings and the wings. So they used the Whigs. So they used to have the Whig Party in the United States, which is now the Republican Party. So there was an election that was going on, and in around 1856, we also had a battle. So there was a battle that was coming up. The Battle of Seattle was around, where Marines in the USS drive an American Indian attack after an all-day battle with settlers. So there was unrest. There was unrest. So the last time Jupiter and we're here with Neptune in Pisces, the world was in a place of unrest. People were unsettled. People were not liking how things were being ruled. People were very frustrated with the way the world was. And they wanted to have something different. They wanted to bring in something new, something that was innovative. This is where we had when it comes to elections and electional fraud. They had when we look at things to do with the natives and the Indian Act, that they was trying to enforce at that time in 1856, and into 1857 up to 1860. So there was all of this unrest within the world at that time. We are now witnessing unrest in our world. How is it magical? Like, when people say, it's like, well, okay, well, how is that magical? It's magical because when you are dealing with magic, when you are dealing with creating something, there's chaos. There's chaos in it because it has to clear away what is not in your alignment. If you want something new in your life, if you want a change in your life, it's like, okay, I'm tired of going dating dirt bags. I'm tired of going after guys who are always married. Okay, well, maybe, if that's the point, then you got to change your perception. You got to change where you hang out, and you got to change on who you talk to. That means you're changing your energy in a new direction. That is what you need to start doing. This is where the anger, yes, explains the healthy anger I feel today. Yes, exactly. Because it's changing. When you are wanting to change, and today when I was even doing my tarot reading, I kept on feeling the energies of Merlin coming in and being up there on the mountain and making the winds change, and he's showing me how things are transforming. But in there is lightning and there is thunder, and it was chaotic and it was scary. We are in a crazy, chaotic, and scary time. Mars and Venus are coming up to the 22-degree point in Capricorn. What does that mean? That means, and at 22 degrees is where Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, and Mars met in January of 2020. That's when the world changed. Mars is exalted in here. And with Mars being exalted in here and bringing in the feminine, so we have the masculine and the feminine coming into this point in our world of change and creation. This is where we are at the last part of Capricorn, last part of deciding our society. We're coming up to a Pluto, and I posted this up on my Facebook, and I've done it about the Pluto return. We're coming up to a time of change, dramatic change that we haven't had for 246 years, even longer. We're going back to the 1200s. This is change in how we look at our political realm. It is magical because it's us utilizing that magical energy for change and transformation. And it's not putting on a definedness to it. We can't put on the definedness to it. If we start to define things, if we start to look at, I am defining it to look like this, it's going to blow up in your face. We're seeing that this is one of the most documented protest ever in the world. They're seeing how, yeah, there's peaceful people coming together, wanting to make a change. They don't want it the way they were before. They're coming out of the crater. They're coming out of the crater, that 22 degrees. We're coming out of that crater of saying, how do we want to create? How do we want to create? What was that hole? Look in your own natal chart at what 22 degrees is. Take a look at where that 22 degrees is. Where is it that you are wanting to adjust and make changes are? My 22 degrees is of Capricorn is in the 7th house. How do I want to change my relationships? How do I deal with my relationships? 7th house is Libra. Libra is ruled by Venus. Oh my God, Venus is coming at 22 degrees in that house that Libra rules with Capricorn. So it's looking at those adjustments that you have to make. Sometimes they're not easy. Sometimes they're very frustrating. But you have to look at that frustration, honor it so that you can make the newness. You can't change something with the same energy that you're at now. If you want something different, you got to change the energy of how you're doing it. You got to change your flow in how you want to create it. If you're using the same energy as what you have been using, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Same with if you do anything to do with spell casting. You have to cleanse, you have to clear, and look at the blockages that are holding you back. Sometimes when we're doing, especially when we're praying or we're doing a spell work, we want it to be instant. It's just like, I just want to have money. I just want money. I just want all my bills paid. I don't want to deal with anything, and I just want it done. First of all, are you opening the bills? Are you addressing the bills, or are you hiding away from the bills? If you can't make the payment, are you calling your utility, your credit card, whatever it is, and talking to them? That's creating change. You're changing the energy. You're getting over that fear of whatever, embarrassment, of lack, of what's been holding you back. That's magical. You might not think it's magical. You might not think it's anything, but it's something. It's something that you're creating. It's something new. You're moving into a new direction, a new way of looking at things. It's like when you are wanting to learn, start looking at different economists and how they talk, and you're like, oh, that's so boring. It might be boring, but it's the boring that creates the change. Was it like, first of all, learning your ABCs was like, yeah, that's fun. I get to sing the song. Oh, I got to sing it again. And I got to sing it again. And I got to sing it again. And I got to sing it again. Have you ever learned how to play the violin? God, I remember when Olivia was playing the violin. But when she started to do it more and more and repetitive, the music started to flow. This is magic. This is what people have to awaken to. In order to create the change, there is a rumbling, there is an upsetness, there is eruptions that are going on that need to happen. The changes are there. We have to also look at, we are also in a timeline from 1932 to 1941. What happened? What happened in that time of history? A lot of people, this is not that long ago. It's about 80 some years ago, 84 years ago, something like that. What happened? What was going on in the world at that time? There was a depression. There was a time when all of a sudden the government came in. They didn't have any money, so they were asking for everybody's gold and silver, and you had to turn it in. Otherwise, you got fined. Huge fines. What are they doing now? In a different way, but they're wanting to get people's bank accounts. Banks are closing. This is change. What's that change look like? What is that going on? Are you educating yourself on it, or are you hiding away and thinking life is going to be this okay because I don't watch the news? Cool. Don't watch the news, but watch what's going on within your own life. This is where, if you don't want to believe it, you don't want to see it, this is where you start to open up and say, you know what, I want to create change, I want to create more abundance. What does that mean for me in my life? Where do I need to go? What do I need to learn? A lot of people are pissed off at social media. I get it. I'm pissed off at social media too. But I got to learn about different places like Rumble. I got to understand how Rumble works. Other people have been sending me different platforms. Yeah, they're great. Some of them, I'm not paying a fee for social media. Certainly not. And I get it, but it's just like, it's not where I want to go, especially as a business person. So I have to look at alternative ways of how to create a business, maybe offline. What does that mean? Businesses have been working offline for thousands of years. Social media has only been around for less than 15 years. Really, if you think about it. So this is where we start to look at, and like, where have I been dependent? Where do I need to make the change? That means I have to start educating myself in a new way. I need to maybe take a course. Maybe I have to, and this is where I have to start planning out. Yeah, there's a lot of courses I want to take, trust me, and I want to do it all at once. And then I overwhelm myself and I can't do it all. Okay, so I'm going to learn. I'm going to, go on YouTube, find different people who are doing it. Look at, maybe, am I aligned with those classes? Am I not aligned with those classes? Is there somebody doing it differently? Do I align with that person? How does that feel? If I feel in alignment with it, then I go with it. If I don't, all right, I don't. If it's something that I have to save money for and then do later, then I save money for it and do it later. That's where the energies are. That's where the magic is. When you think of magic, everybody's thinking, yes, Merlin is there. His energy and the energy is there. But you have to be Mickey Mouse in Fantasia, and you got to learn the basic fucking steps on doing it. And a lot of people don't want to do that. There's ways of doing it. There's ways of creating. How do you want to create that change? The world is erupting in many forms. It's changing. We're changing the way that we think. We're changing the way that we do things. And we're changing the way how we interact with one another. It's happened before. And it's happening again. Are you awakening? Or are you just putting the blinders on and saying, I didn't know that was going on? Ugh. I'm sorry, but that's the way some people are acting. You can't do that. I was like, I'm being the mom. You can't fucking do that. You got to wake up. This is the next 29 days that we have to really get into that beautiful energy. Use Neptune in the positive dream aspect and allowing for Jupiter to expand with the sun shining on it. Use it in that aspect of positivity. Don't go into the falsehood and wanting to escape. Escapism is so easy with this energy too. We can escape. I don't want to see it. The world's going to hell in a basket. I just don't know what to do anymore. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You do. Every single person who watches me knows what the fuck to do. You know what to do. And you're going to say, no, I don't. Okay, if you don't, number one, what do you like to do? What do you want to change in your life? And if you sit there and you still don't know, you got to take a deeper look. If you are frustrated with your finances, are you frustrated with your relationships? Are you frustrated with your job? Are you frustrated with the project? I'm frustrated with the government. Okay, what do you want to do about it? You could be frustrated as you want with the government, but what are you going to do with it? There's laws and everything that go along with it. Understand it. Maybe you have to learn about it. Maybe you have to understand how the law works and how things are manipulated and how things can be turned around. As frustrating as it gets. Frustrating. You want to learn about the government and the laws? It's very fucking frustrating because it gets you angry and it gets you upset. But maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a good thing. In Northern Ireland, when the war was going on, and there's still somewhat of unrest, but you don't hear of the Irish National Republic, RNA. Is it RNA? The national. Anyways, when with all the bombings and stuff, because of when Great Britain was in Northern Ireland, they're still there. But there isn't as much confusion or as much craziness. It's a safer place to be than it was in, say, in the 70s and early 80s. But one of the things that they did to create that change was they began to take kids from both Protestants and Catholics and put them in summer camp and bring them, no religion, no nothing. It was just a camp for kids. And started bringing in a camp for kids. And they didn't say who was Catholic, who was Protestant or anything. There was no religion in there. It was a camp for kids to have fun. All of a sudden, kids started to see that, oh my God, the Protestants are thinking, you have a problem with your sister? I got a problem with my sister. Oh, we got a lot of likes and dislikes. We eat the same food. We pray to the same God. You mean your God is the same as my God? You mean you guys talk about Jesus? They found more similarities than they found differences. That generation began to make a change where Northern Ireland isn't in unrest anymore. So there's something to think about. How do you want to make the change? If you want to work with children, maybe this is a wonderful time to really start looking at, how can I make a change? And start working with children, because children are the change of our world. So we have a lot on our plate right now, and the world is in unrest. And a lot has happened, especially here in Canada. And it is crazy, and a lot of people are angry, and a lot of people are mad at the police, and they're mad at the government, and they're mad at everything else. And yes, we have reasons to be mad. But we also have to step back, regroup, and really understand, how can we do this? How can we have a revolution? Because a revolution is coming. We're in that alignment. It's happened before. We're in a revolution. How is this revolution going to turn out? How do we want to create a change? And the change is magical. The change is within you. And it's in with each and every one of us. You cannot have an enlightened community without enlightened people. How do you enlighten yourself? How do you create that light with love, with blissfulness, with joy, with magic? That's where we're at. And acknowledge the frustration, acknowledge the anger. There's a lot that's going to come out of this that is going to be hurtful. A lot of hurt is going to come out of this, and how this is going to turn out. And I know a lot of people weren't expecting this to happen. And it's unfortunate. It is, and it's tragic. But here we are in a time that we have to create change. What is it and where is it within your life? Because it starts with each individual person. It starts with me and it starts with you. So let us create the change. And some of it, and if you look at my daily tarot that I did today, and I thought it was very interesting that we may not know where to start. So maybe we just need to take some time. There's no concrete. Remember, this is Piscean energy. So it's very much in a flow. So don't try and formulate it. Don't try and make it overly, concrete, because we are getting stuck. We are getting stuck. We want to have all the beauty and all the fun and celebration, but we're finding that we're not sure on the choices that we want to make. So when this is coming up, it's showing us that we don't know what the choices are that we want to make, but the world's changing. The world's changing, and we're not sure exactly how the world is going to change. We know our finances are going to change. They are. And I've been saying that for a while now. Finance world is going to change. How we deal with our money is going to change. Bank laws are going to change. They've already changed some of them. This is where it's like, do people know what a cash in means? Find out about it, because your bank, TD, RBC, Scotiabank, CIBC, all the major banks, including the treasury branches and credit unions, are doing what they call a cash in. Educate yourself on what a cash in is. It's not a bailout. It's totally different. Okay, so basically what it is, you can educate yourself on more, is when the bank can cash in, meaning that they can take your money, give you a stock, or I'm going to call it a coupon. They give you a coupon, say you can cash that in later, but we don't know when. So if you have any savings or assets or anything like that, if you have anything in a safety deposit box, check out the fine writing, because they've just changed some of the rules and regulations. If the bank goes under, if something goes and it closes, they can seize all your assets within all those boxes. Take a look. I wouldn't have anything in a bank if I had a lot of money in it. I don't have a lot of money in my bank, and I don't have safety deposit box. But if you do, take a look at it. Why do you have, most people put safety deposit in case of fire or whatever. Maybe you have to really look into and say, hey, I need to have something in my house. Maybe I need my own safety deposit box in my house. Maybe I need to hide it in the backyard, 10 paces back from the back door. Sounds crazy? Maybe not. This is awakening time. This is taking, and that's all part of the magic. Sad times today. It is sad times, but it's an awakening time. It's getting people to realize there are certain things that we have to do in order to create the change. And I'm going to just say it out, and I know some people are going to be mad at me in what I'm going to say next. I come from a political family. My father was political. My father was ex-RCMP. I understand how the police system works and how politics works. One, you never apologize as a politician, unless you're really outed about something that is, is kind of like, okay, yeah, I was young, I was stupid. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. But if you are on the floor of the House of Commons, you do not apologize, especially if you're a PM. You just don't, because that shows weakness. It's a weakness. And you have to be able to have a very thick skin to go into the House of Commons, because they heckle. It's, not as bad as what the UK is, but it is. The other part is that you all have to understand, and I've explained this before, and I've said this before, is that you got to understand that Canada is a Commonwealth country. We are ruled by a monarch. We are not the United States. We don't have the laws like the United States at all. Our laws are different. The way the things that we do are different. The way our court system works is different. And we have to understand that. And being ruled by a monarch, that means the queen rules. The queen is the sovereign ruler of our land until she dies. She does not hand it over to anybody until she takes her last breath. Then whoever is next in line is the person to take over. That's the way it works within a commonwealth. We are a commonwealth country. Now, you have to think, well, the UK lift their mandates. Where does the queen live? Does she want people trampling up on her house? No. The PM meets with her every week. Meets with the queen, whether he likes it or not, because she's the sovereign ruler. Who is our representation of Canada? Our Governor General. Yes, you can call and you can say you want the PM removed and everything else, but until the Queen says, ain't going to happen. Who actually owns all the land? Yeah, we can say the natives do. Yeah, I agree. I understand. Yes, all of that and all the bullshit that went on with that. But it's a Commonwealth country. The Queen owns the land. It is a hard fact for us to face. Why am I bringing this up? Because I need you guys to really understand how things work. So when the PM says something and he's creating something, there is a reason. And as soon as he called that out, people were telling me, oh, they're going to vote on this and it's going to get turned over. Yeah, I'm going to tell you it's going to take a hell of a lot to get that overturned. Just saying. Will Parliament vote on it? Have you watched Parliament? If the Conservatives really wanted to make a change, they would have joined together and gone down and formed a committee or a group to talk to the truckers and brought them in and had a discussion, wrote up a proposal and brought it in to the floor. But they didn't. Soon as that came in, people had to realize, do you think that they were going to sit back? Of course they're going to bring in the RCMP. They may not bring in the army. They don't need the army. They have the riot police. Have you ever been in a riot? I have. When they get called in, these guys are called in from all over Canada. They are trained to do this. And when they bring in the horses and people say, oh, wave flags, those horses are trained for gunfire. Those horses are trained for warfare. They're not going to stop people. They are going to go forward. We are not. This is what people have to understand. This is where the magic comes in. This is where change can come in. And an understanding of that change. Writing letters, doing that, making sure that your MP knows how you feel. That's the number one. Calling the MP. Writing letters. If you wrote one letter, write another letter. Be very, very careful, and I'm going to say this again, on where you're signing your name at this time. If you're signing your name to a petition, make sure you want to be 150% wanting to back that petition. Because all of a sudden, you may find that you can't get credit. You can't buy a house. You can't fly. We're in a Commonwealth country. We don't have the same freedoms and rights as the United States. at all. We don't. And that's part of where we're at. We are a socialist country ruled by a queen. This is an awakening time. This is an understanding. This is where we have to start looking at, okay, how do we want to make a change? Do you still want to be a commonwealth? Educate. Find out what that means. At the end of the day, the only person that can take him out, the PM, is through his caucus and having a meeting through the caucus and they asking him to step down. But since he is PM, they still need permission. They did it with Thatcher, Margaret Thatcher. Look at what happened with Margaret Thatcher. At the end of the day, it's the Queen that can say that it's time for you to step down. That's where we're at. So this is awakening. A lot of people don't understand that because we just go along with our everyday life and we enjoy being able to do all the things that we are able to enjoy being Canadians. And this is where it's standing up and saying, being careful what you say and how you say it is important. Soon as they mentioned that they wanted to get rid of the PM, I was like, holy fuck, and then they changed it. But it's out there. Remember, words are spells. Words are spells. Soon as it's out there, it's like saying to someone, fuck off, you're a blah, 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 blah. That's a spell. You might want to take it back. Whoa, I didn't mean to it, but you just said it. Watching your words, watching how it's said, watching how that comes out is so very important. Words are power. Words are power. So we're in a time of great magic and great change. But in that magic and change, it's like, and I got the Hobbit. I had the Hobbit coming through my head too, knocking on the door and saying, it's time to go for the adventure. Are you ready? You're going to get uncomfortable. Things are going to get very uncomfortable. Things are going to get really crazy. We're going to have to learn how to do things in new ways and innovative ways. But we're at the start of a revolution. And what that revolution is going to look like, we're going to be seeing it in and around our world. It's a global revolution. May and June. That's my prediction for things to really start to get volatile in around May and June. Things are going to start getting crazier. So we send our positive vibes up into the collective consciousness. We set our prayers, but our actions can speak louder than our words. Go out there, be kind, be loving, be joyous, be blissful. Understand your anger, understand your frustration. Do not deny it, and educate yourself is the number one thing. Educate yourself on what has happened and how things are unfolding. That'll give you a better viewpoint on how to handle things and maybe help you with your anger and frustration. Sending you guys out with so much love. Tarot class is starting in March. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about May, but March. So we got a tarot class that's going to be starting up. And it's going to be every Wednesday evening for the whole month. It's $99. And we also, if you want a consultation with me, you want to get in, let's take a look at your charts. And we can take a look at your chart and see what's going on with you. What's happening? And to look at some forecasting for you. Have a blessed one, everybody. God bless and the goddess bless you. Onward and upward is the way that we are going, and we are going to create some fabulous change within our own lives and within the lives of our children and our children's children. Blessed be everybody. Bye-bye.